Howdy, friends, howdy. Tony here with you today. Glad to be anywhere. Hope all is well today under the sound of my voice. Enjoy all you fellas' videos here on the Knife Channel. I want to do a follow-up. I've been restoring this old pocket knife right here and doing a fairly decent job with it. It's an old Parker Frost canoe. I got the shield put back on it, and the handles, the scales ain't looking too bad. I kind of fixed them up where they were cracked. Here's the other side. Now this old knife here is rare, it's hen's teeth, and brother, that is rare. Like I say, it's a Parker Frost. James Parker and James Frost were in business for 2 years, from 1976 to 1978, and they put out quite a few pocket knives under that banner. And this one here is a very unusual one, to say the least. I've talked about it before. It's Parker Frost with the eagle on the tang there. Well, what's interesting, on the backside, Rogers, Westingham, England. I don't know where they got the metal or the blades from England or had this one constructed there. I'm not clear about that. I think most likely they might have got the material to have this knife built. And they had a lot of knives built in Japan and some here in the States. Parker Frost, like I said, this one is rare as hen's teeth. And it's getting in pretty good shape. I left that patina on them blades. And they all have great snap, and I've worked in the wheel. I've got it pretty clean and got the pivots in good action, and they're centered good. It's well for what it is. Parker Frost. And that's my update on repairs for Parker Frost. I love the shield on that one. Not a bad looker. A rare one, to say the least. If you got any information on it and you want to share it with me, I would be glad to hear from you. All right. Oh, I'm going to show you something here. Mail call today. And I highly recommend this company here. Old School Knife Works in North Carolina. Well, I lucked onto this site by accident. And I'm sure enough glad that I did. And he specializes in vintage old slip joint pocket knives. And you've heard me talk many a time about us growing up in the coal camps here in East Tennessee. My first knife was a Barlow. And it was much like this one right here. I was just amazed to find this on the website. First and only time I've been able to find this particular knife with these bone scales. The way my first Barlow was, like I say, growing up in the coal camps, I carried this to school at the age of the 3rd grade, 8 years old. But I carried this pattern right here. The Bluegrass Belknap, Louisville, Kentucky, Barlow. Genuine, saw cut, bone. And I was so blessed to find this knife. This is from my boyhood. And this is the first time I've ever found this. From that company right there. Old School Knife Works. Look at the blade. Never been sharpened. Never been sharpened. It has the logo too, yeah. Belknap, Louisville, Kentucky. Has the number on the back side there. And of course the Bluegrass logo on the bolster. Just like my knife was in boyhood days. I am so blessed. You wouldn't believe how excited I got when I found this. And I accidentally ran out across the website watching YouTube. And somebody had ordered a knife or something from this particular company. But I'm sure enough glad I found it. That's the same knife that I carried when I was a kid. Back then, we were allowed to carry pocket knives to school. We played mumble peg with them. We whittled sticks. We We made slingshots and bow and arrows. We had many uses for the Barlow knife. And like I say, the Barlow was my first pattern. And I kept that knife for 3 or 4 years, and I don't know what ever happened to it. I probably lost it, or somebody might have stolen it. I might have traded it. I don't remember. But I know I got her back today, and I'm sure enough proud I have. Yeah, this brings back a lot of memories. I actually might even take and start carrying this some every now and then. Yeah, that's my story on that one. Oh, I got some case pocket knives I want to show you today too before I quit. This is the bright green bone corncob jig Sodbuster Jr. 2024. All right. Woo. It ain't nothing but a lizard skin. I've got several of them, and I didn't realize them until I opened it the other day. They call this the lizard skin, really, and it's quality. Case quality all the way up. Blade is centered very well. Those scales are beautiful. I like the sequence and the color of the lizard skin. Brass pins, liners, and your typical Sodbuster Jr. blade. That is the beauty. I certainly hope you all like my videos that I put. And let me stress this again. I am not an expert. I know what I know. I know what I've become accustomed to the years, and I know some history, and I know a lot of stories about a lot of the knives that I own, and I'm always glad to share those stories. But that right there is a beauty. Case Sodbuster. I call it the lizard skin. All right, let's move on to another one. Here is another case. This one is a hunter green bone deep canyon jig swell center jack from 2022, and it is of stainless steel. This is a swell center. A beautiful little knife, to say the least. That swell center pattern. Ours is a gentleman's knife, Sunday knife, if I've ever seen one. I love the case on the bolster there. Oh, the scales are beautiful, just totally beautiful. Spine, there's not a gap anywhere. Blades are centered good. And that's a swell center jack, and it's a small one. Like I refer to them as a Sunday knife or a gentleman knife. And it's equipped with your very nice clip point blade. Very nice blade. And it has a secondary blade, which is a small pin. Pretty little knife. Another work of art from Case Cutlery. Swell center. All right, we have another Case XX. This is a burnt natural bone second cut jig Sodbuster from 2022. I love Sodbusters. Like the Soddies. Have quite a few in my collection. This is a beauty. Total beauty. I like those scales. Love the shield, the way it's designed there. Brass pins and liners, centered good. Beautiful scales. This just everyday good carry too. Every day. Fits well in the old hand there. And there's your typical clip blade for the Sodbuster Jr. I have many of these in my collection because I even use them and carry them from time to time. But the Soddies are some of my favorites. Got one more. And like I say, I appreciate all you that's tuned in to me and watches me. Everybody tonight, the people are so nice. They're really nice to me, and I appreciate that. And this one is a brown bone peach seed jig mini copper lock, 2023, and of stainless steel. Yeah, I like these little mini copper locks. Handy little knives, good everyday carries. Beautiful, just totally beautiful. Totally beautiful. And the little lock mechanism is in the center of the scales there. You can see it. And very handy little knife. Brass pins and liners, constructed well. That blade is centered good. Another work of perfection from KSXX. Love that clip point. Love the clip point. I appreciate everybody. Said it before and I'll say it again. Give me a shout out if you've got any questions or if you've got any suggestions or if you've got any information I can use. Like I say, I'm not an expert. I'm just an old hillbilly that does what I do and know what I know, which ain't a lot. But God bless y'all. I appreciate you putting up with me. I'll catch them up with you later. Have a good one.